Hi everyone, my name is Jean Kitzrow. I'm applying for the buyer specialist position. What I know about Team Lolly is that one, Adrian is your president, and two, Attilio is the co-founder and also the radio host for the real estate station. The other great thing about Team Lolly is that you guys are top 5 out of the agencies here in Hawaii, which is incredible. And also, you are part of Keller and Williams, and Keller and Williams is all over the world, and so that makes it really an incredible journey because we are connected to so many other people here in the world, and that helps us to learn more and to do better as agents. I also know that it is a team and not a single person or individuals within an office. You guys work as a team, whether you be listing or a buyer specialist, whether you be the office secretary or also the paperwork and details or scheduling. You guys are all a team, and I mean there's also marketing and things, right? So that's pretty awesome. I also know that you guys are great learners and constantly moving forward with ideas, and studying and learning is part of the process of just creating a better life for people. And so I believe that Team Lolly is a great company, a great real estate agency that brings hope into people's lives during a moment of great change, which leads me into what I feel that I would bring to the team. Not only do I feel that our values line up together, I also feel that just this one specific thing, and it'll tie into my greatest failure and what I've learned from it, because I have gone through so many life experiences, great experiences, just big changes that so many people go through. I feel that it provides me a sense of empathy for people and to kind of understand, and especially during a home buying process where you're going to find people that want to hold on to either traditions or memories, people who have gone through things that, you know, certain details matter to them, and that is a huge, that is huge in a person's life, to for someone to empathize with them when they're going through changes. Home buying process, whether you're growing a family or you're leaving something behind, is such a huge life event. So that brings me into my greatest failure and what I learned from it. So my greatest failure would be that I didn't believe in myself. And you know, I know where it kind of came from. It was a series of things that people said. I get, you know, you can kind of hear the words that people said to you in the past. You know, they would tell me that I talked too fast and I used to stutter because of it, and I worried too much. I was persistent, and if I wasn't persistent, my A- was not as good as my sister's C+, and just that my words were so insignificant, and that I was smart, but I was a waste of knowledge. And my teachers would kind of tell me that, and they said that, oh, you're so smart, but you don't try. And it's because people were told me that I was part of a statistic, one parent household, that I wouldn't compare to the students that I competed against. I grew up in a community where everyone were athletes and also were tutored after school, and they were just so smart. They all got scholarships, and they had alumni family and things like that, and I came from a one-parent home that didn't have that. And so that just led me into making bad decisions as a young adult. And because I made those bad decisions, I decided that when I wanted to change my life around, that the person that I was supposed to trust ended up taking advantage of the idea that that I was ashamed of the bad choices that I made as when I was growing up. And so I got married. He reaffirmed the fact that the things that I had to say were insignificant, and also the fact that I should be ashamed, that I wanted to be my own self because clearly I made bad decisions and I don't know these things. And so I didn't believe that I could make good decisions. but deep down in my heart, I knew that in my past I've made good decisions. I helped people. I was kind, and I was smart, and I did lots of things. I was skilled. I was a leader. I had all these talents, but because the people closest to me didn't solidify that for me, I believe that nothing that I did would amount to anything. And so I became a mom, and I love being a mom. I mean, I still love being a mom. They might, push lots of buttons, but I love being a mom, and they just they reaffirm that I do good things. And so that year, well, that year was 2016. I guess I should tell you the year. In 2016, I decided that I wanted to change my mindset. And I called this year learning to love myself. And so I made better choices. I was surrounded by women finally who were very supportive and who lived a life that made me question my own. And so because I did have that critical thinking skill, I was able to question things that was happening in my life. And so I was gaining these knowledge on, wow, I should believe in myself. So I decided I want to listen to my intuitions. And so, so something I learned was that you have to surround yourself with great people. You also have to be a learner. You have to use each moment as a teachable moment, right? So I learned that certain things in my life were red flags. And because of this process, I was able to see the things that I wanted in my life that were so good. And then I also got closer with my faith. I had developed this strong faith, so my foundation was above myself, and it was good. And I knew, I love politics. I love a lot of history and things, and I knew a lot of the reasons why things went bad in this world. And so with that knowledge, I was able to realize that, these things were maybe a little bit more minor in my life, not as big as giant wars and things like that, but they were happening in my own household. And so I wanted that to stop. And I couldn't just make it stop by telling people to stop. That doesn't really work. You can ask and things, and people are going to change if they want to change. And so I decided that I had to change. And so I decided to do things that kind of made me a little fearful, because it was things that I never tried to do before, but I wanted to do, and I thought they were so big. They were too big for me. And so I decided I wanted to join the marathon. I signed up for the Honolulu Marathon. I was told that I was not going to get any support in it from my partner, and so I said, okay, well, if I wasn't going to get the support from him, I was going to find that support within myself and then from the women in my community. And so I would wake up 2 a.m. because I had to do it around my family time. So I would wake up 2 a.m. and I would run as far and as fast and as long as I can before family would wake up. I would still be wife and mom. I would make food and I would take care of the kids. I would take the kids out running. I'll put them in the double jogger and I would take them up the hills for some strength. And I just had this regimen that I was so determined to finish this marathon. And so I put that. And I started to stand up for my values. I told you I had a stronger faith. And so I was learning these things, and I had believed in it so much, and I knew about all the history and things like that, and my values were very strong. And so I decided I wanted to start standing up for them. And in order to do that, I had to start researching. So I decided to regain my courage. And you need courage to fulfill the things that you do. You could be honest, but to stand up and be honest takes courage, right? When you know that there's going to be consequences. To do the right thing takes courage. To be kind takes courage. To smile at someone that you don't know takes courage. And so I had to regain that courage, and that takes believing that what I was doing ultimately had people's and myself and my children's best interest in mind, and also to be kind to a person who was limiting me. That took a lot of courage. And so I learned that not only to surround myself with good people, to be disciplined, I learned to have courage. And so um, as long as I worked in the realm of having the best intentions, even if I made mistakes, I knew that there was always going to be good that came from it. And so, whether I immediately saw the goodness or that I was the goodness or things like that, something that happened in an event I shouldn't be ashamed of, because there would be something good that comes from it. So I highly and I 100% believe that good things always come. And so that changed my mindset, and it bring a lot of peace. Not only was my foundation, my faith, that bring peace to me, but that mindset change. The power of the mind is so incredible, and I know that is a value that Team Lolly shares. And so I decided that because I had made great choices here and there, that I would be more consistent with making great choices, but I would also have empathy with myself. And so that's the other thing I learned, was empathy for myself. That everything that I went through, those experiences, those bad choices, someone else out there is making those choices too, and they're living with them. Or someone's not praising themselves enough for the good things that they did, and they're constantly reminding themselves of little things that may have not have been the greatest choices. But to know that there are great choices that need to be celebrated, those need empathy too. And so I know that one of the great qualities that I have is empathy, because I had gone through enough in my life, and I will continue to go through things in my life. And because I give so much grace to myself now, I can give that grace to so many other people, because you can only give what you receive. And yeah, you can give joy even if you sometimes don't receive joy and things like that, but to fully be able to give that, you also have to be able to receive it. And so that's the other thing I learned, was to receive gifts, to receive blessings, and not to feel like you have to owe someone something in return. But on the flip side, do that for someone else, is to really put your whole heart into something, to give them something. I'm not saying to do real estate for free, but I'm saying is that you can provide that little extra touch for someone that would just make it so much more worthwhile. That is, just one of the greatest things that I learned, was to give without thinking that there was going to be a return. And so, I love volunteering, but I love just serving people. And that is why I believe empathy is one of the greatest qualities that I have, that I could bring to Team Lolly. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day. Enjoy your life, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.